Welcome one and all. Today we are going to see how we can be a super awesome performer in an IT role. Right? Now, becoming a super good performer is not a rocket science, but it is an art one can master to become a very strong performer in whatever role they are. Right? Now, there are 10 strategies which I'm going to explain, which if one follows or adopts, they can ace their job role. Okay. Now, the 10 strategies are, first is knowing the industry 4.0 skills, right? And then business domain skills, managing stakeholders, daily work performance, or how do you do your daily work, day-to-day work, reporting your status, that's a communication to your boss or to the customer or to the stakeholders, continuous learning new skills, keeping abreast, so that is also one of the strategy, and looking at a very big picture of the whole organization or the project which you are in and what comes next, that sort of strategy. And I forgot, the art of consulting. Art of consulting is very important. I'll show you how we can do that. And last but not the least, how we can manage ourselves emotionally. Emotional intelligence is a very big important subject now. It has got a wider significance, especially post-COVID, when people are depressed and they're trying to manage themselves. Okay, so strategy 1. Now you know that the whole industry standards are moving to industry 4.0. Now any business that has to be automated or that has to use IT for automation, that business is related to a particular industry vertical. Now that industry has got a new norms called as Industry 4.0. Now what is this Industry 4.0? Now for those who don't know, Industry 4.0, right, is the fourth evolution of the industry standards. Industry 1 was using steam power. Industry 2 was using electrical energy. Industry 3 was using electronics and computers for their processing. And Industry 4 uses Wi-Fi, and therefore smart connectivity plays an important role. And that's where the new age IT skills like artificial intelligence, IoT, data science, blockchain play a very important role. They become an integrated blend of this Industry 4.0 standard. So what does these Industry 4.0 processes look like? So here is a picture, a snapshot of a complete automated industry which follows Industry 4.0. So all the key processes are shown here. I've taken an example of a manufacturing in this case. So where these processes are automated with the use of artificial intelligence, IoT and blockchain, etc. So as you see, most of the processes are likely to become digital driven and data driven. And therefore, that brings in another dimension for us to blend the technology with the business process. Therefore, one who is in this role, doesn't matter even if it's functional or technical or business, they should have a blend of both IT skills and domain skills. It's imperative that both of them have to have this knowledge for successful running of the project or industry or business or whatever it is, right? So hence, the digital skills have become the core competency or the core ability of anyone who's working in Industry 4.0. Now overall, it gives a blend of skills like technical skills, business skills, leadership skills, and people skills. So these are a perfect profile which is going to be for the future of work, which is Industry 4.0, which the whole world is going after. Okay, so that is principle number 1. Now principle number 2 is, even if you are in IT, even if you are in a technical role, you need to acquire business domain knowledge. Now business domain knowledge is very critical, right, to be effectively coding or writing functional specifications. Knowing these business processes will help to do this work better, and therefore your output would be impactful and efficient, perfect at the first go. So acquiring business domain knowledge is very important. Even if you're a coder, you're a programmer, you should know business domain knowledge. So let's see a glimpse of what are these business domain knowledge is all about. Okay, so if you see the picture here, these are predominantly key industry verticals whose businesses are going to be automated by all these new age digital aspects, right? So these are predominant industry verticals in the enterprise. We can call it as an enterprise, where they would be blending, marrying business with the IT for efficiency, right? So knowing this industry vertical knowledge is of criticality, and this will give an edge on your work. Okay, now when I say domain knowledge, right, what is this domain knowledge all about, right? So domain knowledge is actually a person gets to knowledge of the industry in general, businesses, the challenges and the opportunities faced by that particular industry, industry specific business requirements, industry specific specialized IT solutions, right? It could be retail, it could be service, it could be hospitality, the manufacturing. So this person who is in IT should have a knowledge of the best practices also on the domain of these industry verticals. It's imperative. Okay, and remember, this domain knowledge is not called as functional knowledge as well. No functional specification, those are different. The functional skills. You have to get knowledge about a specific industry vertical overall, end to end, and it's easy, right? The challenges, the risks, the methods, right? So these are all important. How the best practices, how this industry is going, expanding in other countries, in other demographics, so that those factors, right, can be built into your work. So either it could be a functional guy or an IT guy in this project, new age digital project, whether you're automating, you're implementing artificial intelligence, IoT, etc. So both, you need to have a blend of domain knowledge and as well as your technical knowledge, or your Python, Raspberry, so all these programs also. Okay. Now the third principle or the third strategy is mastering the art of consulting. Now consulting is a most significant part of an IT world. It forms or paves a way for writing efficient business cases followed by functional and technical requirements documentation, right? Now, which is a prelude for writing impactful, efficient algorithms or coding. Okay, so where do we start from? So as we know here, first thing is to, as we discussed, to know the industry vertical knowledge, the business domain knowledge. Then art of asking questions to the client or whoever the SMEs, right? So when it comes to questioning, right, there are these 4 wives and 1 husband way, 1H and 4W. How, why, when, what, where. Okay, these are the 1H and 4W. So this is the art of questioning has to be manifested, has to be displayed. Okay, and then defining the business challenges. When a business goes for automation, that means it's having a particular challenge, pain point. So whoever is a consultant, IT consultant, even if you're writing a code, a programmer, you should be able to question what is this for and what problems does this business face. Right, deriving the problem statement, which will help. Okay, and then writing a good functional or technical documentation requirement, which includes all this predictive analysis, all these etc. functions. Okay, and finally writing a code keeping in mind the long-term sustenance for user friendliness. So all these 5 factors need to be taken care of in the consulting practice. When you're consulting, you should cover all these 5 elements rather. So asking questions is imperative, is vital. Asking sensible questions on the business processes. Hence that can be, translated into technical requirements very easily and effectively. Okay, so these are the methods, right? Knowing the business domain knowledge, knowing the problem statement, the business use case, and the aspects of why, what, when, how, right? And then with this you can write a functional or technical requirement documentation, and then you can write the code for it. Okay. Now understanding, so how can one understand the process knowledge, right, from the client to generate the requirements document? So understanding process is just simple but not easy, I would say, right? The important factor is that every business activity, please understand that what I'm going to say, every business process which you're trying to automate, it will have an input and an output and a process in between. For instance, right? Procurement. A procurement will have an input, which is the indent order, and it will have an output, right, which goes as a PO. Right? Similarly, a sales will have an input as PO and the output as the production execution, the product manufacturing document. So every activity will have an input, process and output. So if you could understand this, then it's very easy to understand the whole business process, right? Now again, when trying to identify this business process, you should also be able to know which processes or which sub-processes within this business process has to be done manually and has to be done by the system, which means which is done to be manually and which has to be automated. Okay, so then this would form a solid basis for writing your codes. Whatever your system has to do, then it has to cater, the coding has to cater according to it. Right. So let's see how you can write this, how you can map the business processes. The simplest method to use is a flowchart or a swim lane diagram. I think I've shown in the diagram, right, in the slide. Or swim lane processes and its branches. So this has got every activity of the business processes, and it will relate to whatever manual activities which are current, right, and which needs to be automated in the future. So this will have two cases, that is, one is the current, the existing, where it is being done manual, that is a one swim lane diagram, process flow, and the other one is the desired, the future one, where it will have a system integrated process flow as well. Okay, so we need to understand that. So based on this mapping, right, based on this mapping, the next thing is to write a functional document, requirements document, and then from there we can elicit, right, the technical requirements and do the coding, etc. Do you understand? So it is quite easy, I would say, but you need to map this. Now, even if you don't know, it's where your consulting art comes into play. You need to map this. You need to ask the client, you need to ask the S&B, whoever it is, the specialist, to give you the required processes according to this, right? Now the fourth aspect is managing the stakeholders. So knowing stakeholders' expectation, right, and aligning our day-to-day job will always keep us in the limelight. So we need to know who are the stakeholders we are dealing with. It's not only your manager, right? It's with your customer, your senior management, and your own family and yourself. What are their specific needs, right? What is the way to communicate with them? What information they need? Do they fully understand our deliverables to be, our work, or they need any extra information? Whom do they report to, right? And what are their functionalities? So I've put a table here. So the primemost stakeholder, in case those are customer facing or client facing, is the customer. So when you're dealing with the customer, it is vital to know about their work culture, their communicative type. Sometimes, not all customers are same. Sometimes customer would like you to go through again and again, right? So there are different communicative types which you need to follow for different customers. And that customer's business unit knowledge and his or her commitment to her stakeholders or his stakeholders, the customers, in the customer organization. To the customer, you have to display your business acumen. You know that, right? I'll explain to you later. So they should be convinced that you know their business very well. This is imperative. And also let customer know what are the deliverables you're going to give, your SLAs, your KPIs, which is agreed. Okay, it's very important to share it with the customer and to know the customer's expectations. And also we need to display our tenacity also. Okay, and remember, we always should be a solution finder for customer problems. In easy words, we should be a trusted advisor to the customer. We should be a partner to the customers in solving their problems. Okay. Now coming to the internal side of it, say your manager whom you are going to report to. You should know to whom he is reporting to, his expectations from you, and what is his manager's expectation from him. The business numbers, the profit and loss, or the revenue which your manager commits. And the business has a big picture, which I'll explain to you in the coming slides. You should see a bigger picture of the whole organization and where your manager plays in it, right? And agree with your manager on your career path as well, your goals, right? What you're strong at and what you need help from him, right? What worked well and what did not work well, and all these things you need to discuss with your manager, right? Demonstrate your value to the organization and to the project as well. Okay, so these are your primary stakeholders, but again, don't forget, even your family is your own stakeholder. Remember, a person who is happy at the family, at home, will be an happy employee at office. The home is your center. So whoever your parents, wives, they are also your stakeholders, right? And home is not a house. Home is a home where you should act as a role model. You should be an harmony enabler. Harmony enabler. Okay? And no anger, please. Then finally, you yourself are a stakeholder for you, right? And the elements you need to work on is the truth, the integrity. Even if nobody is watching, you should be truthful. And you should be constantly evolving. Fitness, good health, good mental health, feeling good about yourself at all times. Carry yourself gracefully in case of bad times or criticism or whenever you are proved wrong. Carry yourself gracefully, right? And ever learning, continuously learning. So these are the key 4 stakeholders I have mapped here. And what is expected from us? Only 3 things: clarity, commitment, and consistency. What are those? Clarity, commitment, and consistency. These are paramount importance. Okay, so those are the 4 strategies. Now the 5th one is at your desk. When you come to your desk, you should come with the day's work plus the next 5 days schedule for the week and a 3 months look ahead of your project, whatever your project you're doing. You should have these 3 when you're coming to the office. So you should have a review of the work you're going to do that day plus the next 5 days work, what you have to do, and then a 3 month look ahead. So what happens if you do this? You will not miss any deadline. You will not miss any deliverable. You will not get any red flags. And if you don't do, there are chances of you missing some collaborations or getting inputs from customers or like other business units within the company, within the project, right? So this, you can use a simple Excel sheet, that with the project management steps, and believe this will work miracle. It may help in delivering with value, finishing the project 1 day before schedule. Take it from me. Okay. So this, if you start following this, right, eventually it will become a ritual. Planning, forecasting, and your works becomes you will become more clearer and clearer, and the work will be impactful. Okay, you got it? Right? Now the sixth one is the status updates communication. It's more on the communication aspect of it. So what I recommend is, at the end of the day's work, please update whoever stakeholders you are liable to. Could be even customer, your manager, your peer team members, or somebody who is depending upon your input or your output for their input. You know, that's a paramount importance. You should keep them updated daily, evening. It could be a simple mail. Point number 1, this has been done. Point number 2, this has been on hold because of some reasons. Point number 3, likely to finish day after tomorrow. This is for your information, or this is for your action in case if you want an input from them. Okay, so this could also help you to address unresolved problems that may need managers' attention. Okay, it's very important. If you do this, then the missing data with the manager's inputs will be less, will become clearer, right? Okay, and also this will avoid conflict of interest later on with the stakeholders. So nobody can say, no, I thought you will do this, no, I thought this will come later, no, right? So if you could update every day or frequently, this would be putting you in high performance rated employee or member. Okay, you will become a top rated member, no doubt in it. Okay, now the 7th one is most important of all the 10 strategies, is how we can evolve into a better person, better version of ourselves from yesterday. It's by seeking continuous feedback on our work from both customer and as well as the managers or the other teams. This is the most important step. You can get a voluntary feedback from customers, right? It will help. And from the managers you can chat, you can discuss. Sir, where did this go wrong? I went wrong here. So how this could be done? Can I have your insights? If you don't have the improvements action aspects part of it, if you don't have the thoughts on it, then you can ask the manager how to improve your role, your action. Okay, and it could be even as I said, casual chat or by email. You can write, or by texting message or WhatsApp message or whatsoever. Now, if you don't get feedback from all these people, what will happen is we are not the judges of our work, right? So we may be doing the same mistake again and again. So it's very significant if we can get feedback, continuous feedback, meaning like every 1 month or so on your work from others, will help us to iron out all our deficiencies, all our lacunas, okay, into so that the project will finish in an impactful manner. Okay, so feedback is important, getting continuous feedback from people. Now 8 is always put yourself into your manager's shoes and look at the big picture of the project or of the organization, right? Try to know what is happening where and when and what, and you can discuss with the manager also that your interest of, like suppose you wanted to move to a better role. If you have a very big picture of what's happening at the corporate, then it's easy for you to transition. You can even find out what is in store for you next, right? Then how can you contribute to grow from the current role to whatever role you want to? Okay, so this will position This will help you to position yourself in the organization, or even you can be a best fit or a most suitable fit for some other business unit where this automation is going on, where they're looking for resources like you. Okay, so it's imperative. Looking at a very big picture is not only our work. So we should know what's happening in the organization. So what next? What next? So that sort of curiosity. And point number 9 is that we need to continuously upgrade ourselves. Continuously learn new skills, the latest technologies, which is now it's all free everywhere. So we can go on acquiring the new skills so that it will make ourselves competitive and visible, right, to others, to show that I have additional skills. Like if you're in artificial intelligence, you can go for IoT, you can go for data science. To show people, other people in the organization, that you exist with these skills. You can go and learn, get trained. And one most important thing is, once you learn, get these new skills, you come back to the organization, to your office, and you can teach others, your team members who are in need. You train others. That's one of the important leadership traits, mentoring others. Okay? So this is the most important action. This has to go on. We have to keep learning new skills. As I said, not only technical, it will be good if you can, refresh with the business domain skills also. Right? Now, you know that moving up the career ladder in a company for long-term sustenance, leadership skills is important. So from a coder or a programmer, right, you can go into a CIO level. But you should also pick up some leadership skills, business acumen, business development skills, people management, and the vision, strategy, designing, visioning. Okay, so all these skills have to be picked up if you want to grow. Okay, now every organization we work for, right, will want their organizations to grow, right, in revenue. So therefore they may look for people who can bring in more business. So the business development skills of late has become a very important factor for sustenance. All those people who are laid off in COVID are people who cannot be reskilled. They don't have business development skills. The organization believes they cannot bring in more business. So business development skills is a mandatory skill. Please learn, please acquire, please get trained. Business storytelling, that's a new skill on the block. Business referral skills, you may be working with an existing customer, but if you know the customer's expansion, that's why I said in one of the previous slides, you should also know customers' business processes and their industry perspectives. If they are expanding, can they utilize our service? Can they utilize us an extension of whatever IT service we are providing? And last but not the least, reporting on the business performances. So these skills are must, right? All these are called as business acumen skills. So you will learn that. I'll come back next time and teach you this in a separate session on how to acquire business acumen skills. Now additionally, they said you should learn negotiation skills, persuasion skills, mind mapping skills, and how you can communicate, public speaking skills. So just don't settle only for the desk work. the coding, the technical work or the functional work. No, please develop all these additional skills, right? How you can grow the business, how an organization, how you can help an organization grow because of this, right? These are of paramount importance as well. Now, number 10 is taking care of our mental health. The times are bad, situations are bad, right? So people are going into depression. Now people at workplace are more depressed. So managing or coping with the emotions of oneself is important. You should be an emotionally intelligent person. So having said that, what are the negative emotions one faces in office? Right? Criticism. Your manager criticize, if your seniors criticize, your senior stakeholders, management people criticize. So how you can criticize? How you can cope up with this criticism? Take it as a positive or a constructive feedback and move on. That's it. There's nothing to worry about. If somebody says you have not done well, yeah, it says, okay, yeah, I've not done well, I'll do it next time. Don't brood over it. And then anxiety, excessive past to future anxiety. What if I lose my job? What if I don't get promotion? What if I don't grow in my career? So these are all unwanted thoughts. Then fear. So we should understand fear. Fear itself is a big ocean to study. Fear is actually a protective mechanism given by nature to us, but we misuse it for, petty things. So at office, if some thing happens when you get a news that they're going to lay off, don't just become fearing. Have a concern. The other way for fear is having a concern. Have a concern. Concern is different. So when you have a concern, you will work on what's happening, what's going to happen next, and what we can do best. When you become fearful, right? When you're fearing, then that's a totally different thing. You will not be able to move ahead. Just like anger. Do you know that when you get angry, the brain shuts the systems off? That's why, when you get angry, you don't know what to do. People just do whatever they want because the brain shuts it off. The brain works for you. So anger, fear, we should keep away. Sadness, frustration, worry, guilt, lethargy. Just have a nice pongal in the morning, come to office and just stay, lethargic. Don't do any work. You miss your deadlines, you miss your work. So all these are negative feelings which would impact your work. Nonchalance and bias on others' achievements. If somebody has got a promotion, then you start feeling bad. So all those things should be kept, managed. Take as an inspiration. If somebody gets an appreciation, if somebody grows, why don't we take it as an inspiration? That's a right positive emotion. That's how we can cope up with that bias. Okay. Now, as I told you, we have to cope up. Then you may ask me, how? Now, whenever you are impacted by negative emotions, fear, anger, jealousy, just take a deep breath or detach yourself from the feeling and watch the feeling. You become the breath. Right? So once you detach and look at that feeling, it will automatically drop off. Remember, anything that goes up will come down within the body because it's just energy, right? What is emotions? Energy in motion. Okay? So it cannot happen by itself. We have been doing that, we have habituated. That's why it takes energy. But once you just stay back, watching it, it will go. Means letting it go. You can just move your position. You can stand up and do some stretching, and then move your legs, your hands, and your head. Wear a smile wherever possible. If you get angry, just a smile. Immediately your whole tempo, your mood swings, your mood will get into a better sense. Even if you can't do all these things, just gracefully move away with silence from the place wherever the environment is causing you that bad state of affairs. Remember, it's up to us. We can always change the way we feel to the environment. Okay? We can change ourselves. We can tweak ourselves. We can manage ourselves. The external environment you can't change. People's mind you cannot change. But you can change yourself or ourselves. Okay? Now, you may be going through a tough day, tough challenges, people shouting, screaming, and nowadays it's virtual workforce, right? Now there's a virtual boss from sitting somewhere and taking control, and he snaps at us for no reason. There's a lot of difference between working in-house, face-to-face, offline with your manager, and remote working. If the manager is somebody else who's sitting somewhere in US, Asia Pacific, other regions, UK. So just take a break at the night and meditate yourself. Let all these negative emotions go. Okay, so that you feel freshened up next day when you come, especially before you go to sleep. Okay. Now, final words. Our career has become a marathon race. It's no more that you study one time, you acquire skill one time, and then your job is promised till you retire. No, it's not so anymore. We need to become stronger and stronger by skilling, upskilling, reskilling continuously. Okay? And we need grit. Never give up. It's not for the career we wanted. No. But it's for the dream lifestyle we want to live. So at least for that you have the grit. Manage yourself. Work hard. Work smart. Right? And evolve. Grow. Okay? And don't ever attach yourself to a company. No. You should be attached only to skills, to your own skills. Believe on your skills. Okay, and not on the corporate. There's an example, a bird sitting on a tree branch. The bird doesn't rely on the branch's strength. It relies on its wings. Your skills are your wings. So rely on the skills and never on any organization or a company. Anything may happen. Okay? And final word, my last request is become someone who is very difficult to replace. Have this caption or slogan or picture of this saying and stick it on your desktop. Make it as your home screensaver. Become somebody who is very difficult to replace. Thank you. With that, I've come to the end of this session. I hope you have enjoyed. Right? If there's anything you want to approach me or if you want to ask any doubts, please you can reach out to me at the given address, email address. You can reach out to me and you can write to me. I'll reply back. Thank you. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.